are you? I hope you're having a great weekend. What's up? Okay, so in this video, I'm going to take you through some energy updates for this week as per the Akashic records, whatever God, Spirit, Angels, Universe, higher selves want to deliver through for this message for you. All right, I got to get my accoutrements. Let me hang out with one of my favorite skulls. Okay, if you're new, what's up? My name is Emelina and or Stormy, depending on when you are finding me. I'm transitioning to the name Stormy. On my channel, you can expect personal and spiritual development. If that's your jam, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. I'm a little energy low. I'm pretty exhausted, so forgive that of me. We will jump right in. Oh, I wanted to mention as well, Summer Quantum Breakthrough, my one-to-one mentorship is still open. If you are interested, it is 8, 12, or 16 weeks of really accelerated personal development in a really beautiful, easy way, because I am leading you through the matrix of creating your brand new version of yourself, identity of yourself, stepping into the next level version of yourself. And I'm here to help that be a comfortable and easeful process and really accelerate your results along the way. I'm not going to go into depth about explaining it because I'm a little tired right now, but email me and I'll send you the entire program description and everything that comes with that. Okay, so I'm gonna channel. I also have a bunch of cards with me and a big box of cards. All the things. So we'll see what calls to me today. You guys, so much love for you. Thank you for those that are jumping in now. Thank you for those that watch this later. I have love for each and every one of you. Okay, so let me just check in with Spirit. What do we most need to know for this week coming up? The first thing is, whenever you see this message, it will be relevant for you regardless of whether or not it is the first week of October. Time is very relative. It will meet you at the level of energy that you're at in the quantum. So if you're guided to this message, it's for you. Now, there is a solar eclipse on Tuesday, on October 2nd. Say a prayer for Libras. Okay, thanks. We're getting hit hard. What I will say is that it's my understanding of this eclipse specifically is really revolving around relationships. I'm actually just going to jump into themes because that's like what's going on here. I'm getting a really loud and clear sign. So the first thing for this week is you might feel like you're unpacking your social agreements or your social contracts. You're quite literally rewriting your social contracts with the humans around you. And I really am getting that there's a very loud energy of being able to, I don't want to use the word discard, but that's the word that's stepping forward for this. It's like being able to discern and discard the energy in the relationships that are just not reciprocal. Like they are just not given back to you. Or they're not giving back to you to the degree that you are giving into them. And that's not to immediately discard them. It's to have a conversation with the people that you're rearranging your social agreements with. And say, you know, to one way or another, however this resonates for you, I feel like I'm putting in this much effort. I feel like I'm receiving only this much effort in return. For this to continue at this point forward, this needs to be reciprocal, or else there's no, I mean, how many nice ways can you say it? Or else you will not be in my life, or else I will choose to spend my time and energy elsewhere, or else I will not be available for you in the way in the past. There are lots of ways you can kindly say to someone. I saw the 4 4s across the timer as I was saying that. There are lots of ways that you can kindly say to someone, I deserve love, care, attention, and respect, and your time. And if those are not offers that you can make to me in exchange for me offering those things to you, it's very equal in Libra season, then this is no longer an investment that I'm going to make. Then I'm no longer going to make myself available for you. Now, for some of you guys, to understand, sometimes we need to make it very, very clear what the agreements are, very literally in conversation. So it could be, I'd say as simple as, but it could be as literal as saying, I noticed you care for me in these ways. Ba, 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 ba. I really like that. I really appreciate that. Now, in order for me to feel comfortable and confident continuing this relationship, I need additional care in these ways. Make your bids. In exchange for me asking you to change, I'm asking you to change your behavior to meet me. And maybe that puts you between a rock and a hard place. Or maybe it's easy. It depends on the person, honestly. Nobody likes to change, though, to be honest. Change always equals pain. So you're putting someone in pain when you ask them to change. So what we do at that point, very Libran as an archetype, is to say, here's the balance. Here's what you have to lose if you don't change. I'm offering you this and this and this and this and this. Now, I'm going to count on you guys knowing your value. I had a very literal conversation just like this with someone recently where I was like, here's my value. Like, if you don't want to go this route, if you don't want to make these changes, that's completely fine. I completely respect that. I won't be available moving forward. However, if you choose to make those changes and want to know, this is just like basic negotiation. If you want to know what what do you stand to gain in exchange for making those changes? I made it very clear, and I really truly think people should make it very clear what their value is. I will give you this. If you give me this, I will give you this. And especially for a lot of women, I feel like women that are deeply loving or people that are very, very, very giving in their nature, that tend to overgive, it's almost like they get walked on by other people, like almost like other people take their love for granted. And love is as good as money. Love is a currency. It's an energetic currency. The heart chakra that people then they have energy. It gives them energy. It's an emotional energy. And a lot of people don't think that energy is an investment that someone makes in them. So sometimes we have to make it very, very clear. These are the ways that I love you. I like to spell it out because just saying I love you doesn't mean jack shit. Like, honestly, I mean, it's like, I love you, it's like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody has their own interpretation of what that means. Here's what I say. I appreciate you when you do this, this, and this. These are the traits in you that I see and I absolutely adore, and I would love to gas you up around so that you feel more appreciated and respected around those specific traits. I notice that when you interact with me, you do these sorts of behaviors, and I notice that they're really rare. And I want you to know that I know how valuable they are. I think they're extraordinarily rare, and I respect you more as a human for bringing those traits to the table with me and for me. It's being able to show the love. Like, like in math in like high school, they make you like show your work to show that you actually know how to solve the equation the right way. It's like, when you're expressing your value and being clear about your value, show people what that looks like. Tell them, what does that look like? Show your work. I really think we need to explain love a lot more. It's like, okay, I love you, or I appreciate you. I respect you. What does that mean? Break it down. What do you respect about that person's character? Is it their consistency? Is it their integrity? Is it the fact that you can call them on a whim and they're always going to pick up the phone? Is it the fact that they don't ghost you? Is it the fact that they're reliable? Like, what are the things? And, for most humans, a lot of basic stuff that we do that is very baked into our character goes unnoticed. And I guess what I would say is it's leverage. It's social leverage. So if you can show that you appreciate those things in someone and essentially you're asking them to change at the same time, you're exchanging currency for currency. The currency is energetic change. So it's like, hey, I'm asking for more respect. I'm asking for more love. I'm asking for more of this thing that I need. Maybe it's more, when I say love, I mean emotional engagement. And then some, you know, I'm not going to get into that actually. Hold on. And then I like to show the scale. This has been working really, really well for me across all my relationships. Is like, what do you have to lose? Because most people don't understand. If you only show what they have to gain, it's like the consciousness will take on to some of it, but if we don't know what we stand to lose, it's almost like we take the negotiation off the table. I hope this is making sense in one way or another. I am so tired, so I'm sorry if I'm not as clear as I would like to be. I love to show people what they're going to gain. And I've noticed a huge uptick in my ability to spiritually get what I want. And I'm always looking out for all parties, so everyone gets what they want when I get what I want. When I can also say, and if this doesn't work, and I do this with my spirit guides too, and my ancestors on the side, I'm like, that's great. I love you. That's wonderful. Okay, let's go for this plan A, but let me be clear with you. If this doesn't work, this is what's going to happen next. So I actually have trained myself in relationships at this point this is the way my guides actually speak with me. I'm starting to work with people in terms of giving them guardrails on their own decisions, where I'm essentially displaying the karmic circumstances in front of people when I have a need. So I'm showing consequences. So I'm saying, this is what I need from you. If you give that to me, it would really make me very happy and feel like I can trust you. If that's not enough, then if you don't do it, here's what will be lost. And that can be self-focused as well in conversation, as opposed to saying, you're going to lose me. Something I did recently is I was like, if this is not addressed, here's what's on the table. I will then go into a resentment cycle. I will begin to shut down. I will disappear, and I will not be available for you, because these are going to be patterns that I'm going to automatically enroll in because I don't have the love that I need to support me in this way, in a way that would allow me to feel safe, showing up for this communication, conversation, relationship, whatever it is. So let me break that down because they're sending me a few messages through. All right. This eclipse is rearranging relationships. They're showing me a healing vortex, which is also known as a tornado, that is coming in and quite literally rearranging your relationships. So this is like, let me check in. It's like a reconciliation of the past. 1. Setting new terms on your soul agreements or social contracts with other humans moving forward. That's 2. 3, they're saying accepting no loss, which I want to break that one down because that's coming with a lot of different spiritual codes. So number 3 is accepting no loss. And that means whoever is not willing to meet you on the reciprocal partnership terms, and every relationship is a partnership. Every relationship should be equal. If it's not equal, like, why not? Why accept anything less than equal? Wait, let me circle back. What'd you guys say? Accepting no loss is really about being able to immediately discern whether or not someone is a losing stock or a gaining stock of energy in front of you. Whoever you're dealing with, whoever you're interacting with, is that person, and when I say stock, I mean, is that person giving you more of the things you want? Love, empathy, support, care, a resource, I guess, moving forward? Or are they diminishing those things? Are they diminishing, like, do you feel amplified in their presence, or do you feel diminished or de-energized around them? And it's the ability to accept no loss, is the ability to quickly sort, sift, and reject. To realize you have a choice of the people you surround yourself with, and that if people aren't offering you a reciprocal relationship, that you have the ability to reject them. Not to be mean, but that's like, you know, a lot of empaths will hang on to people because we're afraid of rejecting other people or sending them away. But here we go again. I know I'm presenting something that's a little more difficult for empaths right now, but the alternative is you get succubi on your energy. You get parasites on your energy that are stealing either your sexual energy force or your spiritual energy force or your emotional energy force, that will deplete you over time, that will sabotage your goals. You will not get where you want to go, especially because right now Spirit's really highlighting it. So you guys are going to see very clearly with the people around you, like, this is working, this isn't working. And if it's not working, get it out. Tell them they can renegotiate on the next solar eclipse. Like, I don't know. But it's really, really clear right now that there is like a sifting and sorting of people. Get the right people in your life, get the wrong people out of your life. And maybe they were the right people, but now they can't meet you in your shift, in the new relationship dynamic that you're creating, because we change, right? So like, for people that met me 2 or 3 years ago, I was a very different version of myself. And if we are still running on that version of a social agreement or social contract on how we interact today, it's going to be problematic because I'm a different person at this point. So it's about being able to renegotiate those contracts, renegotiate the just plain social agreements of how you agree to behave and interact with each other. What's expected of you. And these are very adult conversations. Like, I would go into this with a list. This is how I agree to behave. This is what I want. These are my points of tension. I told someone recently, these are my emotional sensitivities. These are my trauma wounding patterns. These things I labeled them out. There were like 5 or 6 things. I was like, I'm highly, highly emotionally sensitive to these things. It doesn't make you a bad human for triggering them, but just know if any of these things gets triggered, you're pulling up all of my trauma at one time. That will then just be present in front of me. And then I'm going to be going into trauma patterns, which, because of the work that I do and how healed I am, I can navigate, but it puts like a kink in the hose in any relationships. So I feel like also, this is a totally another note. It is coming through from Spirit, but it's almost like they're pausing the stream for a minute, moving on to another stream. I don't know that we ever become totally, completely, like, we can, but it's always healing. It's never like completely healed. And my point to this is, whatever wounding you have, I know I've spoken about this in past streams, but if you have abandonment wounds, neglect wounds, rejection wounds, like, can they be healed? Yes, but their presence will always be present with you. There's always, like, even when something heals, there's like a scar tissue, even energetically. And its presence is that of healing. The scar is healing. But it's a scar because it was ripped open at some point. So it's like the presence is there, it's just a healed version of it. So my point with saying that is, I actually feel like, and I've been hearing this around, my therapist talks about this and I really appreciate it. And I've been working this and I think it works very well. I don't know that, I don't know that the goal is to be so healed that you're never going to trigger another human or never bring a wound into a relationship. I don't know that that's possible. What's been working for me, what I appreciate is just being honest. Like, I have these sorts of wounding patterns in any sort of relationship that has any level of longevity or depth. Those wounding patterns are going to be triggered. And what I like to do at this point in my life, and this is the maturity of the healed version of me, which I'm sharing with you in case it is inspirational for you to work with, is that I find it just better to give the cheat codes to the people around me. For me, like, these are the cheat codes for what's going to happen with me when we go deep. And if I love you in any way, it's going to go deep. Especially with me, all of my relationships are deep. I don't have any surface level relationships. So these are the things that are going to get triggered. This is how my shadow is going to show itself. It probably would behoove you guys to sit down and maybe make a list of what are the most triggering wounds in relationships for you. So I'm openly telling people, at some point, if you trigger me, these are the things that it's going to look like. And I tell people very openly, I have very deep abandonment wounding. It's going to come up. Like, it's not that it's not going to come up. It's just a matter of when. So I tell people ahead so they understand. So when it does come up, because it does, that they can meet with empathy and not take it personally. And that they know that they're handling a part of a wounding pattern with me so that they can meet my inner child in those moments instead of thinking that I'm a fully healed adult in that way, because I'm not. I've got the adult always there, but when something's triggered, when a trauma is triggered, even if it's a scar tissue wound, when it's a very, very deep wound, it needs to be treated with more care. So essentially, what I'm suggesting is to start giving the people you love in your life the map to how to love you, the map to how to care for you when you are the most unlovable. Okay. I'm like, when you feel the most unlovable, which is like when you're the most triggered. When I'm the most triggered, I'm exhibiting abandonment and neglect wounds. I'm running from people. I hide. I get quiet. I disassociate. This is good. And I'm pointing this out. This is going to be very natural for any level of abandonment wounding. That might resonate with you guys. I shut down and I'm telling people that now up front. I'm like, these are the patterns. If you see me walk into any of these patterns, it means you triggered my abandonment wound. So please treat me differently. And when that happens, please meet me with more care because I don't know how to ask for it. And I'm trying to identify and give them out in my life when I'm in my adult healed portion of me before it gets triggered. Like, hey, this is gonna happen. When it does, I need more love and care from you in these ways. Hopefully it will never get triggered, but it gets triggered in every single relationship I've ever been in because it's my intimacy pattern. And I really feel like the healed, when we get like very whole as adults, like we have a healthy adult running the show and the inner child, you know, I really feel like it's about the adult just saying, this is the hand I was dealt. This is what I'm currently dealing with. Like, this is my current self-diagnosis. If you're going to be in any level of relationship with me, just know that this is what I'm dealing with. So, like, what are you dealing with? Like, I mean, I don't know. Make a care map. How to care for you. And it's almost like a list. This might be just really good for you guys to write on a list over the next few days. Like, how can people care for you? What are the things that are the most meaningful for you? And then what are your main trigger points emotionally in relationships? What spin you out emotionally? What are the wounding patterns? So that other people can identify them. So very similar to what I just explained, like I was telling a friend, if you see me go, run. If you don't hear from me for weeks at a time, that's my running and hiding phase, which I do automatically when my inner child does it, when I don't feel safe, I automatically go into these patterns. It is not even a second thought. I'm not thinking about it. It is a pattern. Disassociation, holding resentment. I get quiet. I don't get expressive. What was the other term I said? Anyway, you can watch back earlier, whatever the terms I said. Those are essentially the block of things that happens when an abandonment wound is triggered. For those of you that have abandonment wounds, I don't know if there's anyone that doesn't have them. I don't know. I wonder sometimes. Anyone drawn into healing work? There's going to be some deep wounding somewhere. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a healer. So anyway, make a list of how people can care for you, what's meaningful for you, and make a list of your deep trigger points. What happens when you get triggered? What happens when you're abandoned? For some people, I mean, I go into the running and shut down and quiet scenario, but for some people, they get aggressive. For some people, they get angry. For other people, they drink. For some people, they dive like super heavily into work in really unhealthy ways. Like, I think it's helpful for any level of relationship to be able to go deep into intimacy with all of your relationships, to be able to navigate not just the light parts of humans, but what's happening when they get triggered. What are their go-to mechanisms and behaviors? Because if we understand the behaviors and then they start acting a certain way, then we can go, oh, you need this from me now. You need care in a different way now because you were triggered. And I really feel like that is so helpful. That takes a real, like, some serious adulting that nobody talks about. Like, right? Like, I want my relationships to be healthy, so this is what I look like when I get triggered. Could you imagine if we went into every relationship that way? It would be magic. It would be like a level playing field. Okay, so they cover the 3 themes. Spirit, what else do you have for the solar eclipse? It's a solar eclipse in Libra. We have a Libra South node right now as well. So this is really, hold on, let's see. Cracks in the foundation. Tell me, what? Cracks in the foundation for displeasure. The South Node's in Libra, so we're releasing any levels of codependency. Codependency is going to be really pretty severely highlighted if you're not already encountering it. Any of your relationships that are codependent, like, you're going to see what, how, and why. Any emotional abuse is going to be highlighted. All the displeasure, the things that would cause you angst in relationship are being highlighted right now. So it might feel like your relationships are all on the rocks. Because they are. Sorry. But it's actually really that there is a reorganization of energy in relationship right now. And that's what you're participating in with everyone around you. And Spirit, and this is a really big opportunity for you guys to be able to easily release your codependency patterns. Release the behaviors that aren't working. Like, I don't know, even for me, and I'm so attuned to this energy right now, it's been a very smooth transition. I won't say I haven't been cranky, but it's been a very smooth transition as far as, like, this behavior is not working. Oh, and then the adult steps into the room, and the adult me, and says, well, but I don't have to deal with that behavior. I've got another adult in front of me. Are they an adult? They're an adult. Okay. Hey, do you mind behaving like this? I really like it when you do this. I get really triggered when you do this. Maturity is so sexy, you guys. It's so sexy. It's not sexy, but it's so sexy. Someone like me, I'm like, oh my God, it's so sexy. Okay. Let me break this down. Betrayal is in the air. Not that anyone wants to hear that. That's a big wounding pattern. Betrayal. Okay, so people in your life that are close to you that say one thing and do another thing. People that talk shit behind your back. people that say they're going to be there for you in one way or another and then are not there for you. In fact, they do quite the opposite. Gossip and betrayal are ways for people to damage your energy, and the damage that's done is through the damage of the gossip or of the betrayal, they permanently are able to hook themselves into the back of your heart chakra or the back of your sacral chakra, generally speaking, and steal your energy until you can heal it. It's a really cheap, shitty way of people forcing you to give over your light. Because until you can see the betrayal, until you can deal with it, until you can heal the wound, they're essentially stealing your energy. Now, I'm also being told that a lot of you are overcoming past betrayals right now, so you might be having dreams where things that have happened in the past are going to be coming into light, or your subconscious may be working through them. They're saying ancient betrayals, so this actually even could be past life betrayals, as well as like any betrayals in this life. These could be dreams about exes. Those of you that have had people cheat on you, you've cheated on others, like that's going to be highlighted. Lack of loyalty. Any other betrayal wounds, family betrayal wounds are very, very, very real. That stuff's going to be coming up now as well to bring your attention to the root of the patterns emotionally. It will feel like they're being ripped open. I'm sorry. There's just no other way for me to say that. It's not a good, it's a painful experience, but in the process of it happening this week, Spirit is going to re-sew the wound back, fill it, and create like a really beautiful, I don't want to call it scar tissue. It's going to create a new healing of that wound where the betrayal is unhooked and released so that person can no longer steal your energy. Even if these things happened in the past in your life, they can still be robbing you of your life force, which takes years off of your life, by the way. People think life force is just like, it's just like, oh, it's just chi. Like, it's literally, you are given a certain amount of life force in this life. If it is taken, stolen through stress, through betrayals, through what have you, other people, through gross dynamics, magic, like, it takes off the top of your life. You live less, you don't live as long. Your life force is really important. Your energy actually is really, really, really important. It's your health. It's your vitality. It's your ability to live a beautiful and healthy, long life. So, if you don't want to take 10 years off of your life, for example, by holding on to these old resentments from family, exes, maybe even current partners that are doing nasty shit, you know, do the shadow work, you guys, right now. I'm not going to spell it all out for you. I think a lot of you actually know what to do. The shadow work mainly is being able to confront the wounding patterns and deal with the feelings that come up as a result. And it's going to be dark. Also, I don't want you guys to gaslight yourselves, because I know it happens all the time with people. They're like, oh, but I know those people wouldn't intentionally do that, or they're not meaning that. But you'll get a vision, or you'll get like either a meditation or a dream that really shows the person's intentions. Because I want you guys to understand that when we're dealing with other humans, there are their intentions in the light, and then there are intentions in the shadow. The intentions in the light are the conscious intentions, which could be betrayal based or not. They might be fine and loving. And then there are the shadow or unconscious intentions that are still intentions from the shadow. And those frequently are patterns of disbelief, are patterns of robbing other people of their life force, are patterns, they're betrayal patterns. And a lot of times what happens is when you think about humans at the human level, there's a lot of grace that's given, which is fine, but right now they're telling you to inspect it because you're going to be shown the shadow. And a lot of you will say, oh, but they didn't intentionally do that, or they don't intentionally mean that, or they do love me. Like, sure, yes, they do love you. Yes, they're intentionally a good human most of the time, but they are not caught up to what's running in the unconscious. And unconsciously, they are openly looking to steal from you and sabotage you and hurt you. Is that conscious? Likely not for them. Likely it is unconscious, but it doesn't make it any less real. It still needs to be confronted. And then we either do that work of confronting energetically, or we do it in conscious conversation. And conscious conversation is beautiful because then you actually can make whatever was unconscious conscious through conversation. Is it easy? Depends on the human. Depends on how healthy they are. I've had a lot of conversations recently, and I will say not everybody has the capacity. And if they don't, we can't blame them, but at least we can do our due diligence and try to bridge that gap a little bit, make an effort. And if the effort fails, then we move into karmic justice, right? Like, you can't force people to change. You can only suggest what needs to be made of the change, and then their capacity for growth, their capacity for change, their capacity for matching your energy, those are all aspects of maturity, and not everybody can reach that. So that's why Spirit said don't accept any loss. It's like, look at what you're actually dealing with. And love could be very, 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 very real. Okay? This doesn't mean that these people don't love you, and it doesn't mean that you don't love them. What it means is, are you able to discern and balance, like, okay, in exchange for this love that I'm offering and this love that I'm giving back, like, actually, let's go for the offer. But I love them, but like this and this and this, and we have this history and this whole thing. Okay, you love them. That's great. What's your offer? How much love are you giving? Great. Now, make an honest judgment. Spirit is, and you're in Libra season. You can trust your judgments right now. Libra season is about weighing as the accurate judge. Make the judgment. What are they giving back? Is it enough? Or, because let me think about how I can explain this. A lot of people trip up around love because it's like, well, if they love me, then that shadow shit isn't real. It doesn't exist. And it's almost like we swipe it under a rug because we're like, but they love me. These can't exist at the same time. Ba-ba-da-ba-da! Welcome to being human. They all exist at the same time. It's all real. It's all possible. Someone can love you and hate you at the same time. It is entirely possible. It depends on their content of character. Am I like that? No. But a lot of people are. And that's been something I've had to grapple with, so I can explain it now, is that depending on the person's character, they could both love you and hate you. And if there is hate running in the background, if there is hatred, their subconscious actions towards you are there to wipe you out emotionally and spiritually. So anyway, when you're looking at relationships, really do your best to judge and identify, like, weigh it out. Okay, what's the love portion? How much love am I receiving? And what is the shadow? How much shadow am I receiving? And does the love outweigh the shadow? Or do the shadow unconscious components actually put me in a deficit even with the vast amount of love this person gives me? And this is something I've had to look at so I really can spell it out. Like, in a relationship, you could have someone that gives you tons and tons of love and tons of support. But then they could be behind the scenes, sabotaging your efforts, diminishing your value, making you highly insecure over and over and over again, triggering your wounds on purpose. They'll tell you it's not on purpose. It is on purpose because they're aware of your wounds when they know who you are at a deep, intimate level. And then it's like, okay, I'm getting all of this love. Hi. But you're also getting all of this wounding. And for me, when I look at those, I'm like, all that wounding is not worth that love. Like, I'd rather just let this go. Snip, snip, snip. Be the judge. All right? Because I can't accept any gossip or thievery in my energy field because I would like to live till I'm over 100. I would like to. I don't want to chop years off my life because someone's stealing my energy. So anyway, this is about balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. I actually like that there's a shadow traits on here too. So I'll talk about judgment in that way as well. This is the positive judge. This is like the judge that's sitting at a bench trial, you know, that has all the evidence and support and then is able to make an informed decision. Make the decisions around healthy relationships. What relationships are giving you as much as you are giving. Everything is energetic. It should be an energetic, fluid, equal exchange. If it's not a fluid, equal exchange, then you need to change something, because why accept what I would call like an energy exchange rate of all of this love in exchange for deep wounding patterns? It's like, well, then is that really love? Like, it's love, but you're exchanging love for wounding. So it's literally not an equal partnership. I like to exchange love for love. Okay, what do we have on the high vibrational end, my loves? Da, da, da. Okay. The engineer and the mystic on high vibrational. So use your intuition to cut through the noise. Trust your gut. Trust your mind's inner knowing, where it might just like kind of like strike. You might just kind of know where you need to go or what you need to do or what's going on in relationships, and just trust it. Just trust it. Don't second guess it. Trust it and run. Allow the momentum to show you the next steps forward as you make a decision. The engineer. This is about designing resolutions to dilemmas. I am going to channel something different though, because I'm not feeling what this card says. Let's see. Literally, I'm practicing this immediately right now. I'm like, this card says one thing, but that's not what Spirit's trying to tell me right now, and I know that. So use your intuition to know what direction to go. The engineer. Trust your higher guidance to rearrange the relationships around you and to call in the right relationships. Be as honest as you can with everybody around you in relationship. This is what's working for me. This is what's not. I'm not saying this is a personal attack. I am saying this because I'm reflecting on the relationship, and I just noticed for myself that I feel this way. Make it like lots of I statements. Like, I feel this way. This might not have to do with you. You know, something I dealt with recently is, as I was like, I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm very triggered with these behavioral patterns. And I said, but I don't want you to feel attacked. And I want you to know that these behavioral patterns are also a problem of every relationship I've dealt with anyone that's ever been close to me. So this isn't really you. I mean, it's you. Like, you're doing this. But I want you to know that it's really me. It's really like my patterns are, God is transforming things in front of me and bringing this in front of me so that we can heal this together, because these are my patterns. So this is a very relationship created situation to just take some of the pressure off. Damsel was on the bottom. That's the underlying energy. Avenger, companion, mediator. Anyway, okay, so damsel, well, don't be the damsel. This is what's highlighted. We have a Libra South Node. So it's like, let go of the idea that I can't help myself. Oh my God, everything's going wrong. I have to be saved. You don't. You can save your damn self, all right? And you do that by being clear and open and transparent and honest with who you are. Allow people to see who you are. The people that really love you will step up. They will. They will, I promise. And if you're sparse in relationships right now and they're not stepping up, then you need to trust that new relationships will be brought forward to you from Spirit as a gift. It just means you're in transition and the new relationships are on their way. So you just gotta like, give it a second. I just saw 4414 as well. This is the moon this week. It is a new moon. All right, plant some intentions. New moons are very powerful for like drawing manifestations to you. The moon is also about what's hidden, what's behind the scenes, what's unspoken. What I'm seeing in this card too is the flower blossoming in the center. So allow the hidden knowledge of the universe to speak to you. I don't know, for those of you that, I saw 4448 as I said that as well. For those of you that enjoy meditating and reflecting, something I love to do is moon gazing. If you stare at the moon, especially a new moon, stare at it and just kind of like loosely, the way you would meditate, the moon will start to speak to you. She is a wonderful entity type and she gives amazing advice, and your higher self can speak through her as well. And I would channel with the moon. I would talk to the moon. Even those of you that aren't like good at channeling per se, you'll get your messages. The moon's a really strong and active channel. Oh gosh, yeah, these are all the cards, huh? Okay, the next one was learn the truth. Okay, so be honest about your current relationships. A lot of you are in relationships that you're masking in one way or another to try to avoid the shadow of the other person or what's actually going on behind the scenes. And you can't make the changes if you're unwilling to see the truth. This owl also doesn't have a mouth, so there's an issue with speaking your truth. If I were you guys this week, I would speak what is on your mind. I would start getting vocal. In fact, with some of the astrology, with I forget what the Lilith placement is, but there's something with that. And then the, oh my gosh, Aries is the North Node, which is what will help you get out of the triggering of the karmic South Node of Libra, which is speaking the truth. Because what Libra's going to do in a South Node, what Libra's going to do in its lower vibrational states is get quiet, is be meek, is people please, and get very dependent. One of the lower vibrational traits of Libras are they could be very, help me. I can't do it by myself. It's like, it's very damsel. It's very damsel energy. That card. That's a low vibrational Libran archetype, is like damsel in distress. Like, please save me. I can't do anything by myself. Like, I need help. And you're being, I'd say, shown the opposite, but actually Spirit's forcing it right now. So these patterns are going to be highlighted. The damsel pattern is highlighted right now. In order to make the change, you have to learn the truth. You have to see the truth. You have to be willing to speak the truth. That will get you out of Dodge. If you can speak the truth, you can get yourself out of your damsel in distress patterns. That also is for men. That is not just a female thing. There are different parts within your own energy. If you're willing to learn the truth, you can make actual, real, concrete, balanced changes in your relationships. Part of learning the truth and speaking the truth is when you make your needs known. If the people in front of you in your relationships cannot meet those needs, don't have the capacity to meet those needs, don't want to meet those needs, or are unavailable to meet those needs, then it is your job to quickly reject them. That is the next step. And depending on the relationship you're in, that might be more challenging than I would care to go into. For those of you that are dealing with friendships, okay, get through them. For those of you that's a partner, that's harder. And that's something that you need to reconcile with and bring in your spiritual awareness with what's running behind the scenes with the moon, right? Like what's going on behind the scenes in your consciousness that would help you, the intuitive knowing in yourself that would help you, God's and Spirit's direction that comes from stillness, that comes from sitting, that comes from meditation, so that you can then make those changes. I would encourage you guys to actively speak your truth this week. Whatever the response is, if you are compelled to say something, if you're feeling something in a moment, if somebody openly fucking disrespects you or offends you in the moment, say something. Don't hold your tongue. It's very Libran to hold your tongue. Say it, okay? Get it over with. Get it out. Even if it's messy, it really doesn't matter. It's not your responsibility how other people respond to the truth that is said. It's your responsibility to learn the truth and speak the truth. And then to allow karmic justice. This is the judge card that we saw earlier, the rebalancing, where the universe will give justice. The justice will be had. The decision will be made. There will be a rebalancing effort. For you guys to know, not every relationship is going to balance correct. A lot of people are going to be tossed out of your life. You got to be okay with it because they're not there for your glow up. Get them out, okay? They're gonna try to trip you on your catwalk. Like, go do your catwalk, all right? This is your time to shine, baby. I don't have any time for any sort of entity type or human that would go to the catwalk show with me and be like, I'm gonna sit in the front row, thanks so much for inviting me, and then would like throw rocks at me while I'm fucking walking. Like, get out! We don't have time for that. Spirit doesn't have time for it. This is a cleaning house moment before you guys really like enter this new chapter, this new awareness within yourself, where you're really going to be given a lot of, I have some words I was going to say, but we're going to pull it out of this. A lot of what, Spirit? What are they going to be given a lot of? And that's why we have to ditch these relationships right now. Reorganize these relationships right now. Call judgment on these relationships right now. They're showing me bench trials. Like, everybody's up for trial. Like, what are you doing in my life? Is this equal? We're going to find out. So, what did I say? What is it that we're walking into? This is the first Oracle deck I ever got, by the way. It's like my favorite. Dynamic. What we're walking into is putting together a reality that's made up of many different elements, familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. Something that you cannot possibly anticipate. Your energy at a cellular level is being completely rearranged. The triangle is the symbol for change. And these look like cogwheels to me. So it's like there's so much change. There's so many things going on. You are being created into an entirely different version of yourself. And a lot of people can't come with you to the next iteration of you. For those of you that are new, this is very typical. When you make big shifts, you leave people. For those of you that know this process, you know this process. You knew the change was coming. It's time to, what I call this is my phrase. I tell people all the time, I'm like, put them in the washing machine. Like, people that like piss me off, or that like, I'm just like, whatever, like, that I do love, I give it back up to Spirit. I put them in the washing machine, like, put them through another run, another cycle. Like, take care of them. Bring them back when they're clean. That's my ongoing joke with Spirit. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple prayer cards, and then I think I'm good here. Well, I don't know. I've got all the cards. I want to pull all of them. You all saw that. I pray to see a better way through and to trust it. You're being given new options and new opportunities for how you're going to be navigating relationships, but it requires you to be a different version of yourself. It requires you to be able to see the truth. That was the other card that came out, right? You need to be able to see the truth and then take action on that truth and to trust that truth, even if it's inconvenient. I pray to increase my capacity for joy, bliss, and ecstasy. That was the dynamic card. This is where you guys are going. You're going to a life that has more joy, has more bliss, has more capacity for more ecstasy, more love. Some of you are getting engaged. I just heard that. I heard engagement. Whoever that resonates with. I pray to flow and have fun. That's simple. I pray to never miss a trick. That means you have people with hidden agendas in your environment. So pray to never miss a trick. You'll see it so that you can navigate around it. And I pray to be glue for that which is meant for me, which is to gently release any of the relationships that are not meant for you. So you are only sticky in the eyes of Spirit for the relationships that are meant to come with you into the next phase, into the next chapter. Because you're going to have too much. The Spirit doesn't want you to give it away. Spirit's not going to give you your blessings if you've got tons of people around you that that are going to take them, that are going to steal your energy, Spirit will not give you the blessings. It's divinely timed and planned. So, you know, allow the people to leave that need to leave so Spirit can give you your blessings. Because the ones that we're going to steal from you, you don't want around you anyway. They're just going to steal from you. Nobody wants that. It's a long message to say, let go of the people that are dragging you down. And be open and transparent with trusting the new relationships, or the old relationships that you're reorganizing, where you're saying, this is how I get triggered. I want you to love me no matter what, so I'm going to tell you what my shadow's like, because I want you to love that part of me too, and that version of me needs actually the most love. And it's different than loving my light, so let me explain that to you. Can't make this up. These cards are so good. The Great Severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Chop them out. Get angry. Allow yourself to get angry. Allow yourself to express that anger in a constructive way, please, to the humans around you, just a very mature way. When you're agitated, aggravated, triggered, and why? And this says the Great Severing. Allow Spirit to crack. What did they say earlier? That they were like crack in the foundation for things that would cause you displeasure. Allow Spirit to show you who needs to go. And you'll know who needs to stay because they'll tell you. It'll be obvious. You could actually say everyone's going, except for those of you that have kids. Keep the kids, you know. Be like, everybody's out. And then you know what'll happen? You'll just renegotiate and they'll tell you. If people want to stay, they'll make themselves known. If they want to go, they just won't negotiate with you. Like, they'll be pig-headed, they'll be bullies, they'll be mean, they won't pick up the phone. Like, you know, I mean, it's pretty easy. They're either available to negotiate or they're not. So let it go. Also, look at how beautiful this card is. Oh my gosh. The balance between the valleys and the peaks and the sky. It's all balance oriented. There's nothing wrong with anger. Anger is a trigger from the solar plexus that allows you to defend yourself, so that you can speak the truth, so that you can actually get your needs met in a way that Spirit wants you to meet your needs. I kind of want to pull one more card, but I also, no, we'll do it. We'll do it. I just want to pull all the cards today. I feel like I'm like playing. That's what happens when, like, I don't know, when me and the cards come out, I'm just like, oh, it's like playing. We're in play mode. Okay, too many, Spirit. Which one do you want? Relationships I don't want. Clarify those I do want. Whenever you know what you do not want, you always know more clearly what you do want. So in any poignant moment of awareness of another person's undesirable situation, give your undivided attention to the idea of improvement that has hatched from your interaction. That not only will you be of increasing value, but you will see how your relationships with others add immeasurably to your own becoming who you are meant to become. We're going to cap it out there. I feel like that was really, really perfect. Even like literally, they've got the incoming new relationships and the exiting old relationships, the shadow relationships, and the different phases of relationships. Like, allow what is meant to go. It will become very, very, very clear because it will be conflict-based relationships. And allow what's meant to emerge to come in and support you, because they will be more, these people will be more invested in the harmony of the solution than they will be of the conflict. It'll be really, really obvious. The conflicts might all kind of be across the board because we're in a bit of a conflicted relationship season. But those that want to harmonize, it will start to become obvious that they do. And those are the ones that you're going to keep in your life. Or you open the door and allow new people to come in and watch for the harmonization. Like, are they in harmony with who I am becoming? That's what I got for you guys. If you enjoyed this, like this video, give it a good thumbs up, drop a comment below. That's what I got for you guys this week. If you're interested in the Summer Quantum Breakthrough 8-week one-to-one program with me, we will explode your personal development and success. It's so magical. If you're interested in that, send me an email. I'll send you the program details and all the information. Other than that, that's what I got. Sending you guys all the love. I will see you soon. Enjoy your week. RDK, peace.